This is a power and conflict paradigm in the United States of America, an image or photograph of which I took 6:45 a.m. so early in the morning, March 18, 2022, in front of a place where I was working. That was my second job. I also work with cryptocurrency, fintech, and so made a lot of money. But I also worked in this place in Winfield Plaza. I quit that. But I also had state troopers doing something to me. I think it's called, I define it as a prey code because I was really hunted down. But this is about power and conflict paradigm. So we have the power paradigm and we have the conflict paradigm. Now, you have the white power, which was existing when they killed the Indians. Then we have big money, which John Sarbanes speaks about in For the People Act. Then we have the general conflict, and we are even having people talk about the toxic workplace conflict online. And then we have the black power conflict. So, the power paradigm by African Americans. I know African Americans like white people and they want to marry white people and they don't like Jamaicans, and I'm Cuban and Jamaican, so it's okay. You don't have to like me. I just like to work. I've been working since I was 17 in the summer in Jamaica. Okay. So 2024, August 8, 2023, I took my bachelor's degree off of my resume, but I was a supervisor at Gloria Jean's Coffees in the mall, Boca Town Center Mall, and when I was a supervisor there, I left there. I went to Walgreens, but my point is, I took the bachelor's degree off the resume, and Dunkin' Donuts called me in 2 days. So I go up to Jupiter to work in Dunkin' Donuts. The young African American male tells me I'm dirty, so somebody contacted him from Boca Raton, or else African Americans are having a witch hunt and they can identify me in some way. And then I went across the street to the 7-Eleven where I also applied, and the African American staff says over there I'm very dirty and I don't listen. Then that was the second day. And the third day working there, an African American sheriff comes to the job all the way north in Jupiter and says, "You're small." Yeah, it's small, but he doesn't know that I work online 1 o'clock to 6 p.m. I was working at Dunkin' Donuts 7 to 12, which is part of my MO. Anyway, the African American housing staff from Delray Beach comes to Jupiter also and asks where I work. Then I was terminated. So I assumed that I had a witch hunt by 4 African Americans in 4 days, and then I was terminated. 2024, I also have at 20th Street. I don't know why they're attacking me like this, but African American Panera Bread cashier said you cannot use the Wi-Fi unless you're a customer. The African American security guard in the public shopping center. I go to the Publix all the time, and I also, for 2 years, when I work across street in Winfield Plaza, owned by the Batmasians, I go across street and for 2 years to McDonald's, and the security guard calls the police on me. But she graduated from FIU, and I graduated from FAU, so she said don't bother her. But the African Americans just showing they hate me. They already killed my kids and took everything I had, my government job and everything. Okay, 2024, African American sheriff asked me what I want out of the bag, and he gives the wallet and passport. Oh, I said I want my wallet and my passport out the bag, and he gives my bag and purse to the lady. Now, obviously, if he says what you want out of the bag, he knows it's my bag. So he gave me my wallet and my passport and arrested me. Okay. African American bus driver makes a head signal to an African American to follow me to a moving Jupiter, and he robs me. African American police tries to frame me like they did Nicole Simpson as using drugs. There was drugs found in Nicole Simpson's home, but since I had either builders, developers, or government in my house damaging the kitchen, pictures of which I sent to FBI, then they could have planted drugs in my house too, but this was 2015. Then African American police, when I went down to Broward to try to go work at a Jamaican city, Lauderhill or Lauderdale Lakes, I said, since they bullied me out of the city of Delray Beach, even with a good written evaluation, I said, let me go to a Jamaican city. So I went to Broward, And the African American police leaves a car in my path. So he must know who I am somehow. So it's like a witch hunt. All the way in Broward in Fort Lauderdale, he leaves his sports car with the driver's side open and he's standing by the dealership. But I don't get into the car and drive away because I'm thinking, oh, I didn't want to get charged with car stealing, So they, African American gangs, know they put me on foot because the African American state trooper was up here on my job. They were damaging the house. I don't know if it was him specifically. I think it's gangs in government. But he ticketed my Honda back to back and towed it. So the guy who left the car out and I didn't steal it down in Broward, he sends an African American woman to put worms in my bed, and I go to the emergency room and they don't solve it, but then I return to Palm Beach County. So the African American state trooper tickets my Honda back and tows my Honda, which I told you about before. But this is after they bullied me out of government. Now, I worked for the government of Jamaica in the summer I was 17, and when I was 18, I worked for the European Union. FAU got me a job temping with the state tool operation SunPass. And then I went to the city of Delray Beach and got a good written evaluations for 5 years. And the African Americans still are allowed to bully me out of that job. Okay. So government enters both properties and put leaks in both kitchens, and I send pictures to the FBI. African Americans bully me out of my job with the city of Delray Beach, even with good written evaluations, and I have a hearing with the city manager. I do not say to him she's bullying me because I didn't really know the word and I really wasn't bullied before. So the beginning of Black Power paradigm in my life, the beginning was when the white Jehovah Witness male came to my house. My dad was a Cuban fighter, a mechanic in the Royal Air Force, and a Coca-Cola manager. He chased that man away. Then a white Jehovah Witness woman came, and I read the Watchtower and Awake magazine. Awake is like Reader's Digest plus the Bible. Then the Jackson Five came and had a concert, and they were Jehovah's Witnesses. So I guess they're like promoting the Jehovah Witness church organization. And I was so enthusiastic about their concert. They were so incredibly talented. Then the Jehovah's Witnesses discouraged me from graduate school and they gave me in marriage to an African American male, 1981. Step 3, they subjugate and do not allow divorce court, and there's no judge to save my sons. That was 1996. My husband had a fight with me, and I was forced to sign this document, which he paid somebody to make this document. It didn't say any visitation, took 3 properties away, and judge. My son was not able to tell a judge that when he was 6, he was tested gifted at Hagen Ranch Elementary School. I used to volunteer to do reading groups at Hagen Ranch Elementary School, and his teacher said, "I'm going to test your son." She tested him, and he passed the gifted class. So step 4, they do not allow visitation, and they abuse and subjugate my children. My son had to wake up before school and take care of the dogs. And then when he married the next woman, they had to clean the house for the woman. Now in Jamaica, we had maids to clean for us. Anyway, step 6, my son's brake line is cut and they're killed 2001. Now, this is my son with his great-grandmother. My great-grandmother worked with her sister. They had a restaurant, bar, and bakery, and we hired other family members. So we were a close and synergistic family. This is my son in my mother's house with his great-grandmother, and he was happy. You can see his picture is copied many times. He was very happy. If I had known about what could happen, I would have left him right there because my mother's house is right across the street from the elementary school. So 2 out of 3 of these cousins in Jamaica in this picture are gifted. One is now a PhD in neurosurgery. The other one is killed. Of course, that's my son. Now, awareness allows people to raise their children safely in Jamaica. And 2 out of these 4 children was born in USA and raised in Jamaica without their mothers. They're very successful. 2 master's degrees, PhD, bachelor degree in nursing. Okay, now here's another problem. The art of degrading and devaluing women. I think that the African Americans are the ones that are showing the art, demonstrating it. Kanye West, this is his wife. He's having her nude in this like this. That's so devaluing this woman. Okay, here's another one. She's having oral sex with him. He's really devaluing her. What's going on here and degrading her? What is happening here in America? Can't you arrest him for doing that to his wife? Okay, so now we're back to the old point that we need to go to the International Criminal Court. Washington has fought the International Criminal Court twice by a country, and they want to name the country because I am glad that country decided to file charges against the United States, because it got me the idea that I need to file charges, and I start to get an international human rights attorney. And then Washington came out against Israel at the International Criminal Court and said they would not support the International Criminal Court. The senators said that. I've been in contact with Congress, the Senate, and the House in 500 ways, and I'm tired of it. I'm done with it now. But I see three reasons to go to the International Criminal Court. The fact that I had 5 government jobs, and the only government job I was bullied out of was the city of Delray Beach, where I got good written evaluation, which I want to sue the city of Delray Beach. The other fact is that they have the art of devaluing and degrading women in the United States publicly by even VIPs, people with more money and power. And the other problem why we have to go to the International Criminal Court is because they toy with presidents and billionaires in the courts in the United States. Something has gone wrong. The solution: robots. I'm now working with AI and coding. I'm in AI and coding classes. I'm also learning so much about how to stop the hallucinations by using RAG and also the vector databases. And we're trying to put the human relevance into the AI and the robotics because we need it. It is a solution.